How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm just going to have a look at Solana today and basically just break down this current market structure that we can see. So this is currently on the daily time frame, and you can see we've been coming down for a long time. This is where we're at now, and what I'm sort of thinking is, obviously, of course, there's always potential for us to continue going lower. There's no reason for that, and we are in a downtrend on this daily time frame. So there's no reason to think that we can't continue. But there's a few interesting things that I want to just take a look at. So you can see here, we've had on the daily time frame, we have had this like double bottom. You can see there we've got that strong momentum coming into play there. But what's interesting is, so if I just get rid of that, I'll just mark this with this so we can just see it a little bit easier. I'll just go for that. You can see, we've not had one candle close below this level, so you basically know that the buyers are sort of in control here, and the sellers aren't been able to break and close below this structure. And what's happening here? So this is like a major level. You can see, this was basically the lower high, sort of, that before we put in this low here. It's not really a lower high. I wouldn't particularly class it as it, because this never created a new low, but it's still a major area for us that we're tapping into here. And you can see we've pushed up, and then we're sort of consolidating it now. But what I'm going to do is just jump down onto the 4-hourly time frame and just show you this structure, and we can just go from here. So I'll clear that just to make things easier. I'll leave that there. So if we're just to have a look at this behaviour that we've got going on now, we've been coming down, and you can see, we've created this, and then we've sort of tapped back into this level there, and then we've continued to push down. And this is a little bit messy, but this is like our lower low, then a lower high, then a lower low. And you can see we've pulled back, and we've been consolidating around this area for quite a while. Now it is a little bit messy, and it does look a bit choppy. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this level, and I'm just going to come across here, simply because we have been reacting off it. This is basically our low high before we create the low low, but just in this case I'm just going to take this little area of resistance into consideration. And what you can see is, we've come down and we've bounced back, and what I will do is I'll just draw this line here, because this area, we were struggling to break above this area for a while. And then you can look, if you have a look at that 4H candle, you see that volume coming back in. We've pushed into this level quite strong, and then we have actually managed to break out of this. So to me, this is sort of looking like a bit of reversal, but on the higher time frame, on the daily, this area is a key area of resistance. You see we've tapped into it, and we've just been moving sideways there for however long that is, 20 hours or something. Then we've just pulled back a little bit. So what I'm going to be watching for Solana is if we can start to push back up into these levels, and get some breaks and closes above here. It'll be looking good for a bullish continuation back up to these next areas of resistance. $121. And then once you start seeing this breakout, I'll be thinking, right, well, I'm thinking that the directional bias of the market is changing here now, because we're taking out major structures within the market. And once you start taking out major levels and major levels of resistance, you know that the directional bias is changing then, because you're violating structure. When you do that, it's a pretty good clear indication of which way things are going to go. Bear in mind, this is only short term. I'm not talking months here. I'm just talking about, days and weeks. But it's pretty good, just to be able to jump on these small reversal patterns, and you just capitalise. Let's have a look from here to here. It's only 14%, but it's still not a bad move. You could make a fair bit of money on it. And then, of course, you start tapping into these levels, and then you can start getting breakouts to up here and above. This would be a good run up. What have you got there? 20%, 28%. They're not bad. You can definitely capitalise off these moves in the market. Some people don't necessarily trade like this, but this is the way that I trade. So what I'll sort of be looking for here now is, you can see that we've I'll just delete this just to clear things up a little bit. you know, you can see here now we've pushed up, pulled back down, pushed up. But, you know, what I'll be sort of looking at is, because this here, we've got a bit of support here. Got a bit of support going on. So what we could do, we could pull back and we could tag into these levels here. You know, we might tap down into this, and then you might get a few candles, you know, with the wicks on the bottom pushing up, and that'll be a good indication to you there. Then that, you know, you might actually be getting, you know, you might be getting this reversal for like a little double bottom, and then you might start seeing your candles with the momentum pushing back in. You know, if you get a candle like this, same basic thing here. You know, if you start getting these candles with the wicks at the bottom, then you get that strong momentum. I think if you was to get that again here from this level, I'd be thinking, right, okay, well, you know, we've clearly got the buys in the market, and then I'll be looking for that break then, that break and close above this structure. And once you start seeing that, you can then start looking for your retest, you know, back into this level, retest, and then you can jump in then on your continuation patterns. I say it all the time, but this is the way that the markets work. You know, over and over again, if you have a look at the markets, and whichever market it is, you know, you'll see this happen. It's just the way that price tends to move. You know, and you can start capitalising off it then. You can start day trading. Just change things up a bit. I just find it a little bit more interesting just to sort of vary between, you know, my long-term positions and like my day trading. Of course, it requires a bit more time and a bit more attention, and it is a little bit more stressful because, you know, you can't just basically set it and just forget about it for 3-4 months, you know, and it is nice to do that. But if you sort of want to just make a little bit of income on the side, I'm not saying that you are going to make some money. You know, you are going to have to backtest this yourself, and you're going to have to go over the data and collect the data like I have. You know, I've spent a lot of time analysing the charts and basically going over all these different kinds of methods and patterns within the market and studying it. You know, you just got to collect the data and see for yourself. You know, these are just my thoughts and opinions. It's not financial advice. I just like to share the way that I sort of look at the markets and the way that I analyse things. You know, alternatively as well, you know, we could like get a break below here like this. I'll just delete that just to get rid of the bit of a mess. You know, alternatively, you know, we could react off this level, because if you remember when I said on the daily time frame, this is a key area of resistance here that we're tagged into. You know, it could push down, and then you could start looking for your break and your retest, and then your continuation back down into these lows. So, interesting time for Solana, just like on a lot of other cryptos. You know, I think we're on the verge of either, you know, a good break to the upside, or, you know, alternatively, we could get this reversal back down into these lows. You know, if you were to look on the daily time frame, you know, you never know, we might tag into this level, and you can see, you know, we are getting these wicks forming at this key area of resistance here. And then, you know, we could start getting them continuations back down then into the lows. You know, I like to be realistic. You know, that it either goes two or three ways. You either go up, down, or you go sideways. And, you know, you got to be realistic, but that's what your analysis is for. When you start taking out these structures, you start getting these closes above, then you can say, right, okay, well, you know, if we took out this key area of resistance here, then, you know, our next area that we're going to be targeting is this level. You know, alternatively, if you come down and we start getting a break and close below here, you'd be looking for your retest, then you'd be looking for your continuations back down into, you know, these key areas of support, you know, like this, and then even lower. You know, if you could get into these levels, you could get some good entries on that. You know, it's good long term position to get into Solana at, because, you know, it'd be cheap considering where we was at, you know, in November, $258, $260. That's basically it though. I just wanted to break down this, you know, this little bit of price action that we can see here, this market structure. A little bit messy, but, you know, if you start getting into it and breaking things down, you can actually sort of get a bit of a clear idea of how things are going to go. That's basically it. You know, if anyone's got any altcoins, you know, that want me to go over, just leave them in the comment section. I would, you know, I'd appreciate it for just a little bit of feedback in there or whatever. That's it though. Appreciate you all watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.